Welcome. The societal impact of BK Books is Amy Lenzo. And Amy, if you'll come up. Amy, as you know, is with the World Cafe Community Foundation, another method that's making incredible change in our world. Amy?
Thank you. So my story today is about the Japanese translation of this book, The World Cafe, Shaping Our Futures Through Conversations That Matter. As with other translations of the World Cafe book, a local group convenes to work with us to translate and host the book into their countries. Us being the fabulous Maria Jesus here at BK, and myself from the World Cafe Community Foundation. And that's where this story starts, because from the beginning there was an extraordinary translation and hosting team that came together in Japan to support this particular translation. Key members of that group were Daisuke Kabugachi, who headed the translation team, Kazuaki Katori, whose company helped to publish it, both of whom were very excited about the opportunities that they felt this book would give to catalyze positive change in their countries. When the book was published in early 2010, they sent us a link to an article in a Japanese newspaper with a photo of the then Prime Minister of Japan, Yukio Hatoyama, in a bookstore reading the book and being quoted as saying that it was one of 28 books that will change Japan. Cool, huh? Since then, we've received many stories from Daisuke and Kazuo and their colleagues about how the book and the World Cafe are being welcomed and used in Japan. But I think my favorite is about a young man, a college student named Mabo, who bicycled around the Japanese countryside with a book in his backpack, hosting something like 40 intergenerational World Cafes in rural villages all over the country, bringing different generations together to talk about the things that really mattered to them. When the earthquake and tsunami hit in the north coast of Japan in early 2011, Mabu continued to host his World Cafes and focused them in the Tohoku region, which was the part of the country hardest hit by these disasters and happened to be where he was born. Hosting conversations about rebuilding the region, helping people process their grief and loss, and reinforcing the indomitable spirit of the people of Japan. Mabu and his colleagues, many of them next-generation leaders, have continued to use their translation of the World Cafe book to host powerful and moving conversations throughout Japan. And we've been most gratified to receive some of these stories, which you can read about on the World Cafe StoryNet if you're interested. But the final part of my story this afternoon or this evening is something that I found particularly touching. Last fall, we ran our first ever community fundraising campaign called the Harvest Fund Drive, which was a wonderful success, but perhaps one of the most surprising contributions came from our friends in Japan, who in the middle of their own great need managed to come together to hold a fundraising event dedicated to us. So they sent a check along with this letter, which I want to read to you in closing. This is the coolest envelope, too, with all these little flower, beautiful flower stamps. We called for donation to the World Cafe Community Foundation to say thanks because the World Cafe process is easy to use and provide a lot of fun that are needed now to recover our communities against the damage of tsunami. We Japanese need a lot of conversation, a lot of dialogue to rebuild our communities and everyday life. The World Cafe process helps us to hold such a conversation process. So we say, thank you, World Cafe. I just thought that was brilliant. So, thank you.